For centuries, humans have viewed animals primarily as creatures driven by instinct, lacking complex emotions, deep thinking, and meaningful communication. However, recent decades of scientific research in ethology, neuroscience, and cognitive ethology have dramatically changed our understanding of the emotional world of animals. Today, we know that many species have the ability to experience a wide range of emotions, demonstrate amazing cognitive abilities, and communicate in complex and diverse ways. This discovery challenges our long-held beliefs and calls for a rethinking of our place in the living world. This is seeing unlimited greatness. Understanding how animals feel, think, and communicate not only deepens our empathy, but also opens up new perspectives on the evolution of the mind, consciousness, and social organization. Do animals feel emotions? Emotions were long thought to be the preserve of humans. However, modern research provides more and more evidence that many animals are capable of experiencing basic emotions and some even more complex states. Neurobiological parallels. Research shows that the nervous systems of many mammals and birds have similar structures and chemical processes that humans associate with emotions. For example, the presence of the amygdala, which is responsible for fear and aggression, or the production of stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, and happiness hormones, oxytocin, dopamine, in response to various stimuli. Basic emotions. Scientists agree that animals, especially higher vertebrates, mammals and birds, definitely experience joy/happiness manifested in games, playful behavior, smiles in primates, purring in cats, tail wagging in dogs, characteristic sounds. Fear, fight or flight responses, freezing, trembling, dilated pupils, piloerection, hair standing on end, whining, attempts to hide. Anger/aggression, growling, hissing, showing teeth, tense posture, attacking. Grief/sadness, depressive behavior after loss of a pod member or loved one, e.g. elephants, dolphins, some birds, refusal to eat, apathy. Interest/curiosity, exploratory behavior, sniffing, ears perked up. More complex emotional expressions. The question of secondary emotions, such as guilt, envy, sympathy, jealousy, or gratitude, remains the subject of active research. While some scientists believe that these emotions are driven by complex social rules and are unique to humans, others have observed behavior patterns in animals that closely resemble these feelings, e.g., dogs feeling guilty after a prank, elephants showing empathy for suffering relatives, and domestic animals showing jealousy toward a new family member. These behaviors are likely a form of highly developed communication and adaptive behavior in a social group. How do animals think? Cognitive abilities. The concept of thinking in animals has long been taboo in science, but evidence of their cognitive abilities is now accumulating. Problem solving. Many animals are capable of solving complex problems that require logical thinking rather than simply following instinct or learned responses. For example, chimpanzees can use tools to forage for food, crows can solve multi-step puzzles, and rats can find the shortest paths through mazes. Planning. Some species demonstrate the ability to plan their actions for the future. For example, squirrels and jays hide food supplies, remembering them months later. Crows can hide tools for future use. Memory. Animals have different types of memory. Spatial memory. Bees remember the locations of nectar-bearing plants, and lurking birds remember thousands of locations in their larders. Elephants remember routes to watering holes for decades. Episodic memory. There is evidence that some animals can remember specific events from the past, similar to human episodic memory: what, where, and when. Self-awareness. Some species, such as dolphins, elephants, great apes, and even magpies, pass the mirror test by recognizing themselves in a reflection. This is considered one indicator of self-awareness. Generalization and abstraction. Animals are capable of forming pre-verbal concepts. For example, pigeons can distinguish categories of objects, e.g., tree or water, regardless of their specific shape. Theory of mind. The ability to understand that other beings have their own thoughts, feelings, and intentions that are different from your own. This is a very complex cognitive ability that has traditionally been attributed only to humans. However, research shows that primates and even some birds, such as magpies, can demonstrate rudiments of this ability. For example, when they are trying to deceive their peers or hide their actions. How do animals communicate? Complex communication systems. Animal communication is much more complex than just screams or smells. It is multi-channel and multifaceted. Sound communication. Vocalization, barking, meowing, growling, whining in dogs and cats, various whistles in dolphins, chirping in birds, guttural sounds in turtles, singing of whales and sinas. Sounds can convey information about the presence of a predator, the presence of food, territorial claims, emotional state. Ultrasound and infrasound. Bats use ultrasound for echolocation and communication. Elephants communicate using infrasound, which travels long distances and is not audible to the human ear. Non-vocal sounds, knocks, blows, e.g. beaver's tails, insect chirping. Visual communication. Body language and postures, position of the tail, ears, head, body as a whole, e.g. demonstrating submissiveness, aggression, invitation to play. Dogs, cats, primates, and many other animals actively use postures to convey information. Facial expressions. Dogs, cats, horses, and primates have developed facial expressions that reflect their emotional state. For example, a smile in dogs or a frown in horses. Displays, mating dances of birds, fluffing up feathers, demonstrating strength and size, threatening postures. Coloration, changes in coloration, e.g. chameleons, octopuses, can signal mood, warn, or camouflage. Chemical communication, odors. Pheromones, chemicals secreted by animals to convey specific information, sexual attraction, territorial markings, alarm signals, search tracks. Very important for insects, mammals. Urine marks, used to indicate territory and social status. Tactile communication. Touch, grooming, stroking, rubbing, licking, all contribute to strengthening social bonds, expressing affection, calming. Pressure. Animals can use body pressure to signal in a school or while hunting. Electrical communication. Some fish use electrical impulses for orientation, foraging, and communication. Importance of new understanding. Recognizing the complexity of animals' emotional worlds, their cognitive abilities, and their diverse communication systems has profound ethical and scientific implications. This challenges our anthropocentric view of the world and encourages us to be more responsible towards other species. Ongoing research in this area not only enriches our understanding of life on Earth, but also opens up new avenues for understanding the evolution of the mind, which ultimately helps us to understand ourselves better. It is an ongoing journey into a world that is much richer and more complex than we could ever have imagined. Echoes of the human in animals, a mirror for our consciousness. Studying the emotional world of animals not only expands our knowledge of other species, but also serves as a mirror for aspects of our own consciousness. Seeing the expressions of grief in elephants, joy in dogs, or cunning in primates helps us better understand the universal roots of emotion and behavior. It reminds us that, despite all our cultural and intellectual achievements, we are part of a vast, interconnected biological system. Deeply immersing ourselves in the lives of animals helps us understand our own nature, stimulating empathy not only for them but for other people as well, and deepening our sense of responsibility for the planet we share with these amazing, sentient beings.
If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow, to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible, the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can, for you, and for the world around us.